Cadillac is unveiling a new twin-turbocharged CT6V sports sedan. There you see it. And a new XT4 compact SUV. And here now is Johan de Nysschen, the president of Cadillac. All right, so let's start off with the sedan, the CT6V Sport, 550 horsepower. Do we know how much it costs?
We haven't announced pricing yet, but it's obviously a high-end sedan. And with that amount of performance and exhilaration and obviously good content, it's going to be an aspirational car.
So are you targeting families with this? Because it is a sedan.
Well, it's a large sedan. It certainly is very comfortable and spacious. Families by no means are excluded. But it is really also pushing the boundaries for an exhilarating luxury sports sedan in a manner that only Cadillac could.
And we know the SUV market has been on fire, a trend we've been seeing for a few years now. With the XT4, how does that SUV tap into the rising consumer demand for SUVs?
Well, there's been an amazing shift. Over the last 3 years, we've seen literally an inversion in the market where 2 out of every 3 luxury vehicles was a sedan. It's now a crossover. And the crossover demand is insatiable. We've been watching with some frustration and a sense of anticipation as these market segments have been growing without entries from Cadillac. And so we're delighted that we can now introduce our first ever compact Cadillac crossover into a very important growth segment.
And we know gas prices on a national average are up 30 cents year over year, so that perhaps helps the compact SUV market even further.
Well, I think energy prices have been certainly behind the strong shift to crossovers. But also we need to bear in mind that as technology advances have taken place, crossovers have been far more fuel efficient than in the past. And we expect that the demand for crossovers is going to remain very high.
What about self-driving cars? We know there was a tragic death of a pedestrian from an Uber self-driving cars. I mean, do you think the industry still has a lot more to figure out on this front?
I think we don't know the details of that particular accident, and I don't want to speculate on it. All I can speak for is on behalf of my company, where we absolutely place a paramount weighting on prioritization on safety. Also during our development process, we have a very meticulous and carefully crafted process that says the technology is to be developed in the hands of experienced engineers in a controlled environment. You have to do real-world validation, so testing on public roads is part of that formula. But we have a very diligent process, and I think our commitment to zero fatalities also delivered through leadership in autonomous driving kind of validates our approach.
But you think self-driving cars are the future?
I think absolutely so. We should not imagine that autonomous driving capability by itself automatically should rule out the possibility ever of an accident occurring. That patently is not possible. The issue is that well-executed autonomous technology will probably be a safer driver than a human being, eliminating human error.
We talked about fuel efficiency earlier. What about electric cars? I mean, is the combustion engine dead in your view?
I think the future certainly is going to evolve around zero-emission vehicles. I don't necessarily say only battery-powered electric cars, but we should also understand that there's still much of a runway ahead for internal combustion engines, and they will still be around for a long time. There's going to be a transition of one propulsion technology to another.
All right, and Cadillac also just announced March sales up 26% year over year, your best March in the US since 2014. Is this kind of growth sustainable?
I think Cadillac has got a lot of energy now, and as we prepare for the strongest product offensive in the history of this brand, we have built up a lot of momentum that will accelerate when the new products come.
You also have this Netflix model for Cadillac. It's called Book by Cadillac. Explain how it works.
So essentially it's a subscription service. It's not the traditional form of leasing or purchasing a car, but you buy into a Cadillac experience that allows you access to the full portfolio of Cadillac vehicles. And you have great flexibility. You can choose whichever car you want. You can make multiple exchanges. It's a white glove concierge service. We bring the car to you at your convenience. And it's a new way, really, of experiencing vehicle ownership with great flexibility, which is the ultimate luxury.
So if I want an Escalade one weekend and a sedan the next weekend...
Or a crossover or a sports sedan, you can choose whichever you want.
And what pricing-wise, what are we talking about?
So access into this club is around $1,800 a month. But that covers insurance, maintenance, full tank of fuel with the delivery of the car, and obviously the car is always impeccably clean.
What has the feedback been? I mean, do you see this kind of Netflix model becoming the new normal in the auto industry?
I think it's part of the disruption of ownership, also strongly influenced by not only the entrant of younger buyers who live in mega cities where there are impediments to vehicle ownership, but their lifestyle also requires flexibility. And I think it's going to be a growing area. We are among the first movers. In fact, I think the first. It's still a form of ownership that's under development. A lot of other companies have now followed. And I think we'll see some augmentation to this basic offering into the future as well.
Because some are saying with the rise of ride sharing that people aren't going to want to own cars in X number of years. So what do you say to those people?
Yeah, I don't really subscribe to that. I think ride sharing is a single point solution on a spectrum. There are people who are going to want to continue to purchase cars and park it in their garage for 94% of the time. At the other end, there are going to be people who want to experience individual mobility by individual journey. We at Cadillac are working to provide a holistic service benefits that can ensure we can meet all of those diverging consumer demands in a Cadillac way.
All right, Johan, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.